Well, hello everyone. I'm so glad it's my turn again to do our Bible story and activity. Now you might notice I'm sat with lots of cushions and actually I'm having a bit of a rest. And I'm with somebody else who's having a little bit of a rest. I wonder if you can see. Let me just move this camera around. Somebody else is having a little bit of a chill, a little bit of a rest. Oh, were you a bit sleepy, Wilson? Yes, we're going to say hello to everyone. Sometimes we all need a bit of a rest, don't we? And I know lots of you have been working hard at school or preschool. And I know as well that actually it's very nearly time for you to have your summer holidays, isn't it? And that might be a time where you can have a little bit of a rest, or a bit of a rest from school and doing lots of other fun things. Well, in our Bible story today, Jesus is with his disciples, and the disciples come to him and they say, we've been doing this and this and this and this, and they tell Jesus all of the things that they've been doing and all of the things that they have taught people. So they've been very busy. And Jesus says to them, come away to a deserted place and rest. Because they were going back and forth and to and fro and all over the place. And sometimes they didn't even have time to eat. They were very, very busy. But Jesus said to them, come and rest. Find a deserted place and rest. Because he knew that even though they were working so hard, and that was lovely that they were really doing what Jesus needed them to do, to share the good news of God and to help and heal people, that they needed rest too. Now, let's listen to our Bible story and then we'll do our activity where we think a little bit about resting and a little bit about trying to take some rest for ourselves. So let's listen to our Bible story.
Hear the Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Mark. Glory to you, O Lord. The disciples gathered around Jesus and told him all that they had done and taught. And he said to them, come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest a while. For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. And they went away in a boat to a deserted place by themselves. Now many saw them going and recognized them, and they hurried on foot to arrive ahead of them. As he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion for them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. When they had crossed over, they came to land at Gennesaret, and when they got out of the boat, people at once recognized him, and they rushed from all over to bring the sick on mats to wherever they heard he was. And wherever he went, into villages or cities or farms, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him that they might touch even the fringe of his cloak. And all who touched it were healed. This is the gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ.
So in our Bible story just now, we heard how Jesus said to the disciples that after they'd been doing all of their busy things and teaching and all over the place, that they should find a place to rest. And sometimes that can be a bit tough. Like we heard later in the story, Jesus didn't really get any time to rest, did he? Because as soon as he got to the next place, crowds of people came. They all came because they all wanted to see him, to hear from him, and to be healed by him. But as Jesus said to his disciples, I think sometimes it's very important for us to find time so that we can rest, So for our activity today, we're going to think a little bit about when we rest and when we work hard and when we do busy things. So we're going to need some paper, something circle, a plate or a bowl, some scissors, pen, and if you've got them, some of these little push pin clips, paper fasteners, but don't worry if you haven't got them because there are other ways we can get around that. So what we are going to do today is we're going to think about our rest time and our work time, our busy time and our quiet time. So we're going to make our very own clock. So we're going to pop the bowl or the plate or the something circle onto a piece of paper, and we're going to get a pencil and we're going to draw around so that we have a circle. There we are, we've got our circle. And then we will cut it out. You might want a little bit of help with this. And you might want to pick a big plate to do a big circle or a little plate to do a little circle. It's your choice. And we are going to cut all the way around so that we have our clock face. We have our clock. Nearly there. There we are. So we've got our circle. Now I've got my clock here and it's got some lines and it's got some hands. Actually, it's missing something, isn't it? I wonder if you can work out what's normally on a clock that seems to not be on mine. We need the numbers, don't we? So what we're going to do is we will pop our numbers on our clock. And what you might want to do to make sure that they're all spread out evenly is put 12, 3, 6 and 9 on first. And then you can put 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 and 11, and that'll make sure that they're all spread out nicely there for you. So once we've put our numbers on, we are going to get a ruler and we're going to divide our clock up. So we'll draw a line down the middle from 12 till 6 and across 9 and 3, and then we'll go 10 and 4, 2 and 8, and what am I missing? There we are, 11 and 5. So can you see how now my clock all has different sections in it? Can you see? Could be a bit darker that actually, I've not used a very dark pen. Because what we're going to do is, in all of our different sections, oh, I've missed one, 1 and 7, nearly. In all of our different sections, we're going to think about what we like to do in a day. What type of things do we like to do? So I'm going to put between 12 and 1, what do I normally do? Well, I normally have my lunch. So I'm going to write in there, lunch. And what I might do, if you wanted to do this, is I'm going to draw something that reminds me of lunch. So I'm going to draw a little apple, because often I like to have an apple with my lunch. So 12 till 1, I've got lunch. And in all of our little sections, we might think about different things we like to do. You might want to write in one section, playtime. Maybe if we put that here, we like to play. That's something that we like to do. And we might want to write in another one, maybe you need to write homework, because maybe we have some homework to do. So we could put that in a section. and keep going around and think about different things. But also, we want to think about how Jesus said to the disciples that you need to rest. So in one of mine, I'm going to write in big letters, rest. And you might draw maybe a little bed to remind you to rest. So I'm going to draw a little bed with a pillow and a cover. So that is my little reminder that I need to take time to rest. And if you've got some of those split pins, you might want to make some hands for your clock. And if you don't have them, maybe what you could do is push a hole through the middle and use a little bit of string. I'm going to make just 2 hands, because lots of clocks have 3 hands, don't they? They have an hour hand, a minute hand, and a second hand. I'm going to do an hour hand and a minute hand. So I'm just cutting little strips out of my leftover paper from my circle and popping a little cut triangle, and on the other side cut triangle, so it's like an arrow, so it's pointing to the time. And then I'm going to get one of my little fasteners and I'm going to pop my hands on my clock. And there, my hands are now attached to my clock and I can move them around. And what you might like to do as well is on your hands, you could write on the big hand, time, and on the little hand, 2. So it will remind you that it's time to rest, or time to play. And this clock might help us to remember that even though we've got lots of things on our clocks, if we've got things like, I might have to put, I'll use a different colour, I might have to put make dinner, or I might put see friends. So we might have lots of busy things to do. Just like the disciples were doing lots of busy things, weren't they? They were going around and teaching lots of people and helping lots of people. And just like Jesus, when he arrived at the next place and all of those people came to him, he was very, very busy. But we also need to try and remember to have time to rest, just like Jesus said to his disciples. And resting might be having a lie down, or it might be doing something that you just really like to do. It might be doing some artwork, or it might be helping with some cooking. Finding those things that we like to do that help us to rest and feel refreshed. And I hope that you all have a lovely, restful, refreshing summer holidays when you come to it. I know some of you have still got another week to go, but when it comes, I hope you have a great time on your summer holidays. And I hope to see some of you very soon. Bye everyone. Bye.